Friday the 13th, a day of bad luck in both the spiritual and literal sense. Whether it's a broken mirror or having your house broken into and murdered, we can all agree that it's a day you shouldn't take lightly. Most famously associated with this day of infamy is Mr. Infamous himself, Jason Voorhees. Originally from Crystal Lake to get revenge on the counselors that killed his mom, he expanded his killing spree to basically anybody he wanted to kill. So with that being said, how does he fare in the fog-filled function known as Far Harbor? Can you beat Fallout Far Harbor as Jason Voorhees? Alright then, let's lay down some ground rules here. In case you didn't know, Jason can in fact run. He has ran many times before, particularly earlier on in the franchise before he died and became a zombie. So I'm playing by 2009 reboot rules in this playthrough. Light jogging but full on sprinting when I see an enemy. Gotta close that distance, you dig? Skipping past all the preliminary Fallout 4 bullshit, we started the Nancano household. With us both looking stupid, I cannot in fact kill these motherfuckers or else the quest auto fails. So if you're basing this on role-playing fully as Jason, the answer to the titular inquiry is no. Now if you want to see me whack some shit with a machete, keep watching. Kenji tells us that his daughter Kasumi has just up and vanished, vanquished from the home she once knew. After being a complete dumbass and wasting time, I finally remembered to check the outside shed, where I then threw objects into the water while listening to Kasumi's holotape. She had gone to Far Harbor because the dumbass thought she was a synth, and it was going to be my job to bring her back. I had decided Kasumi was going to be Jason's weird fixation to keep alive, so no wigging out and killing her either. I know, I'm as disappointed as you are. We hopped on the boat and the shit drove itself to the island to start this party. Arriving at Far Harbor, I was accosted by Avery and antagonized by Alan before being imposed to aid the area in averting the adversaries of amphibians and anglers. Donning my machete, I manned the wall, looking at my potential prey before the mandated prey showed up. I hacked and slashed valiantly, but 'twas for naught as a gulper ran me my fucking hands instantly. Next time around, I actually did it correctly this time, getting bullied by gulpers, getting bullied by anglers, but finally putting them to rest. Speaking with Avery, I told her my mission, and she told me to talk to Longfellow to guide me to Acadia, as apparently this big scary fog is too much for the Whittle mainlander like myself. Fucking stupid. I entered the tavern, failed the speech check because a crazed masked killer isn't good at talking. I know, I'm as stunned as you are, and had to do things the old-fashioned way. After giving the drunk his vice, he agreed to guide me to Acadia, and off we went, leaving the gates of safety behind to venture into the unknown. Heading westward, we encountered human enemies for the first time. Arming my machete, I gave the first trapper the spinning Jason before decapitating the second bitch and slitting the throat of the third. I then climbed this beam and stuck a fork in the fourth fucker, marveling at my job well done. We then carried on. I killed some pit bulls, went apeshit on the local wildlife, and we talked to some irradiated miscreant masquerading morally maligned mischief. I tried to stab her right off the bat, but she had that important NPC protection. After the chat, though, I put that bitch in the dirt. I then made it to Acadia, told the old bastard to fuck off back to the hole he drank himself into, and entered to retrieve Kasumi. Upon stepping inside, I talked to Dick in Massive Authority, or Dima for short, and he tried his cult leader manipulation tactics on me. Telling him to fuck off, I walked down the steps to Kasumi. My luck with talking to women prevailed, and she said she isn't going anywhere with me until she figures out what Dima is hiding. I expertly spied on the three Stalinites, silently snooping on strategies before grabbing the holotape and reporting back to Kasumi. Kasumi then devised the plan of me getting Dima's memories and seeing what kind of skeletons this motherfucker was hiding. So like a good little boy, I left Acadia to go get these memories. As I stalked across the foggy landscape, I picked on some trappers, hacking the first one to death before swiftly decapitating the next. I gave the third the old Jason Tornado and impaled the fourth. I then interrupted this guy on the shitter, crossed the lake and became Michael Vick, and finally made it to the nucleus where I attacked the first zealot on sight, killing that motherfucker so fast he didn't even feel it happen. I assaulted Richter into an early grave and killed the 2 remaining zealots before popping a stem and entering the building. I smacked the fuck out of Brother Devin and knocked his clothes backwards, handled another zealot, and then got absolutely assaulted by radiation blast. After much hacking and slashing of the shithead screwballs, I ended this fight by kicking one over the ledge and falling down myself. I then walked up to the command center, expertly dodged the lasers, and shut this turret up. I then deactivated this gutsy and reprogrammed these 2 Protectrons into offline only mode. I then went toe-to-toe with an Assaultron, and after having her block my attacks and playing Ring Around the Rosie, I put that bitch into the scrap heap like the rest of her mates. I then opened the security door, tried like 1,000 times to turn on the monitor before realizing I had to turn on the fucking power first, did that, and then had to face off against Mandy. The bitch was tough, blocking my attacks and chasing me relentlessly, but after getting pummeled in a corner, I finally realized that I was a man, so I smacked the fuck out of this bitch and sent her back to being submissive. She then exploded in my face. Now it was time to go dig up Dima's skeletons. At Rayburn Point, I intimidated a trapper so hard he fucking exploded, slit the throat of another, and then threw one onto his ass before leaving him there. I then hit the harpoonist so hard he flew into space. I killed 3 more and then swam across the lake to get to the tiny island. Some rock hopping and more swimming, and I unearthed this figurative skeleton, collecting the wind turbine code. Next up, it was on to the Vim factory. Appearing in this rad storm like a bad omen, these super mutant freaks had no idea what was coming for them. The first 2 mutants got mutually mortality'd. I skirmished with this skirmisher before skedaddling inside the superstructure. These damn hounds howled to the moon and back, so I became another animal abuser. I fucked up another skirmisher, tornadoed a regular mutant, and backhanded another skirmisher. I got into an annoying ass fight with this enforcer before enforcing his bedtime curfew. I faced off against wannabe Huntress. You look stupid, pal. Hydra and I already fucking did that. And Jason NATO'd 2 mutants back to back. I then failed at this hacking for literally 10 fucking minutes. I swear I'm not stupid. And finally journeyed up the elevator into the hidden room. Digging up the grave, I discovered the real Captain Avery and listened to this holotape. Dima killed the real Avery and had her replaced by a synth for assimilation purposes. It was now time for one more piece to this fucked up puzzle, the nuclear launch key. Traveling to the Harbor Grand, I threw hands on sight with a turret, a skirmisher, an enforcer and his annoying ass pet, then got lost for a bit before going inside the building. One track mind, baby. I entered the code for the safe room, got the key, listened to the holotape, and only after leaving the room did I notice this dead bitch at the door. I then left the hotel and knew exactly where I was taking this. I made it to the boat the key was on, retrieved it, and knew from this point on the children of Adam were going to worship their God very, very intimately. Arriving back at the nucleus, I killed 3 more zealots outside the old-fashioned way before wandering inside that bitch to set this shit into motion. I killed a zealot and made a beeline for the sub. After a tough fight of hacking and slashing, the ones inside the sub were all dead, and it was time to activate the missiles. I inserted the key and made a mad dash out of the building, letting that shit explode in a major way and ridding Far Harbor of these festering freaks for good. I then made it back to Acadia and told Kasumi everything that had just happened before confronting Dima and his skeletons. Now I know what you're gonna say. How is this Jason? The game won't fucking let me, okay? Fucking watch this shit. I got tired of Dima's cult leader ass and wanted to put him down, but he had that bullshit essential companion protection. Same with Chase and Faraday. In fact, all these motherfuckers were essential, including Kasumi, so there was literally nothing I could do. You want to be mad at something? Fucking be mad at Bethesda. After reloading the save, I told Dima I'd keep his secret, got his bullshit fucking armor piece, and then went back to talk to Kasumi again. She finally agreed to give up on her dreams on being a synth and go home. So after a long waste of fucking time, I got back to the Commonwealth, Watch Kenji reunite with his stupid ass daughter, and depending on your definition of it, I either did or didn't beat Far Harbor as Jason Voorhees. Fuck this.